Have you ever had a cold call? I expect you probably have. We've all had them, and I find them so annoying. And it can be tempting to shout at that person, to be abusive because you're in the middle of something and suddenly this call comes in to sell you double glazing or to ask if you've ever been in an accident or whatever it is they're trying to sell you. And you can lose your temper and you can get angry at them. But please try not to. These are my etiquette tips on what to do when you receive a cold call. A cold call, if you've never received one, is when you receive a cold call out of the blue. So it hasn't been pre-arranged, you weren't expecting it, and typically it's someone who's trying to sell you something, a marketer trying to get information. It can also be a scam, but it's typically they're trying to give you some information and get you to sign up for something or buy something. The thing with cold calling is that they tend to prey upon you outside of normal working hours. So it could be early morning, it could be in the evening when you're relaxing on the sofa with your family or just chilling out. And then it gets really irritating because, of course, they've disturbed your peace, they've disturbed you in a quiet time, you weren't expecting it, and immediately you react. But it's important that you try to keep your cool because at the end of the day, they are a human being. Of course, if you don't recognize the number calling you, you can, of course, ignore the telephone call altogether. Let it go to your voicemail and see if it's worth calling back. If you do decide to pick up and discover it is a cold call, then remember, as I said earlier, they are just a human being just doing their job. So be polite, but be firm in the way you communicate with them. Explain to them that you don't appreciate the call, and importantly, that you wish your information and data to be removed from their systems. Under the UK GDPR, companies cannot keep your data without your permission, and you can quote this when you tell them to remove your data. You can start the call immediately taking control. You can say, "I'm terribly sorry, but I'm not interested in what you're calling me about. I'd like you to remove my data from your systems. Please ensure you do that and do not call and disturb me again." Then it's totally acceptable to hang up. Also be really careful because there are a lot of scams about, and it's awful when you hear about people that have been preyed upon, given out bank information and had terrible things happen to them and their money. So please, please be careful. If you get a call from a bank or from a hospital or someone stating there's an emergency, take their contact details, remain calm, get onto the internet, Google the company and their correct telephone, and then call them back. Never give personal information over the phone because you never know who it is and what their intentions might be. So please stay safe, look after yourself, but also be nice to the cold caller because they are just trying to survive and it's their job. Have you ever had a cold call, and what's your typical reaction? Tell me the truth.